PHNX is rising, and so are we. Welcome into the PHNX Rising Podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us here on a Tuesday. We're here. Please give us a thumbs up, like this video if you're watching live on YouTube. Appreciate you guys joining us, right? We got me, I'm Max Simpson. I'm with Mr. Owain Evans. We got Emma behind the Mac. We got Reese in the room. He's there. We got a lot to talk about.
Real big, like, really nice way to introduce the man himself, Trig. I'm still calling him Trig at the moment.
That's fair. But yeah, how we doing, man?
Yeah, I think it's taking along, isn't it? Like, we are really not far away from the start of the new season.
It's
really not far away.
It's gonna creep up on us before you know. We're what? It's like 2.5 weeks away. Goodness, we're there.
Speaking of creeping up on us, hang on a minute. We kind of glossed over the fact that behind the Mac, we got someone who. Where have you been, Emma?
I've been so busy. I've been so busy on the ALLCITY side, producing the All-NBA show with Tim Legler and Adam Mares. So I've been away from you guys, unfortunately.
So you've been away from us. What was that last part?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure there was the in there.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, interesting. So, right, you went from, you actually hid away and ran from us, and now you're covering, basketball. Very cool. We love the pod, by the way. Great stuff. You do great work.
Thank you.
Correlation between soccer and basketball. Is there anything there? Am I spitballing? I hear that, there's a lot of European influence, perhaps. The Euro step kind of deal. What are we thinking here?
I mean, there can be some correlation, sure. I honestly think that there's more correlation between soccer and hockey, though.
Oh.
I think.
Let me counter.
Mm-hmm.
Football and basketball, they're both played with balls. But ice hockey is played with a puck.
Whoa. Got me there, man.
I've got you there.
This is where you come for the most insightful ball insight at the PHNX Rising Podcast.
I didn't miss it. Never mind.
Yeah, that's only took her less than 5 minutes. Here we go. But we got a lot going for y'all today. Owen, we were there on Saturday night. PHNX Rising did play Las Vegas Lights in a friendly, and there were 90 minutes that came and went. What can you tell us about it?
There were 90 minutes. I'll also add this one as well, which of course doesn't get as much attention, but of course Rising played Orange County earlier in the day as well. It was a kind of split squad kind of deal. The majority of the first team playing in that second game, which is a 0-0 draw against Las Vegas Lights. The earlier game, there were some first team players, but there were also a lot of players that weren't first team players in that match. And Rising was playing Orange County. They, I am told, lost that game 2-0. Again, not a lot of talk on that one. But again, behind closed doors, you'll see a similar thing happening now coming up on Friday this week, actually, as they play LA Galaxy 2 in the evening, and there'll be a different game earlier in the day as well, which again, lets them split up the squad, get these players a lot more minutes. That's really critical, right? That's something that we've heard a lot of from Rising head coach Danny Stone this preseason, that the emphasis really has been on finding ways to load minutes on these players, get them back up to full fitness. It's been a long preseason. Of course, that's not all come, nice and sunshine and roses, right? They've had a couple of injuries so far, a couple of little things that they're currently trying to work through, as maybe you'd expect in a preseason shape like this. But overall, that Las Vegas friendly, I mean, we can really delve into it. The main thing I can say is it happened. There were 90 minutes of football played.
There was a couple chances. There was a shot or two.
I checked my watch after the game. I was like, did I fall asleep at 7 o'clock and wake up at close to 9?
I mean, there was I saw you tweeted it, and we were standing next to the person who said it, but the real quote uttered was, "Why the bleep are we playing stoppage time in this friendly?"
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's actually we'll listen back. Some of you all have seen this, of course, on social media, but it's a good point to kind of start our discussion. And let's listen back to Danny Stone's overall thoughts on the friendly.
Tough game, good pre-season friendly, competitive game. I felt we improved from the first half to the second, so I was pleased with the players. We made a couple of adaptations at half time. We spoke through a couple of pieces of the game that, credit to Vegas, they played well in the first half. And at half time we made a couple of adjustments, and I thought second half the players reacted to that very well. So I thought the game got stronger as we went forwards, and it's another really good pre-season test for us, that, and it's another very competitive game. And being a couple of weeks now from the first game, that's exactly the sort of game and exactly the sort of test that we need.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know, man. These things, right? We always kind of go back to trying to figure out what you can learn from these types of friendlies. I don't think they're the end-all, be-all, but definitely with a game like this where you have some guys who, still kind of working in, trying to find that chemistry. It's, you kind of get some rough moments, like this 90 minutes was one big moment of 90 minutes of roughness.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough one, but at the end of the day, there's still some positives in amongst that rough. There's Rocco Rios Novo back.
That was nice to see.
I think that's good to see. Good to see that he's back here in the country, back here with PHNX Rising and starting to get things going. Actually, as well, shout out to the fitness coach. Geronimo has also returned back.
Yep.
After visa troubles as well. A lot of people have had visa troubles this off-season. It's been a weird one in that regard.
It has been a bit.
But everyone's back.
It is.
So that's important, right? And part of everyone being back as well.
There's a guy who's been back.
Someone made a cameo appearance.
Would you like
close
a good cameo?
To the end, and it's someone who we haven't seen for quite some time. Have a listen to what it was like for Mr. John Stenburg.
Wonderful. It's been a long time. Last game was in Charleston, and it was a pretty big game. So happy to get some minutes in the legs, though it wasn't the best. But a good start.
I mean, that's actually kind of crazy to think about, is that, featured for, about 15, 20 minutes or so. And the last appearance was in the USL Championship final, where he's scoring that goal, making even more of that name for himself that he already has. And it's nice to see him back. I will say, even though as brief of appearance as it was, it's the fact that he's already getting back now. It's like, I'll take it.
It's working back towards a position whereby you're going to get more minutes out of him on the first day of the season, right? We knew this was going to be a slow kind of reintegration for him, in no small part because when you get ill like he did over the off-season, or well, to be honest, at the very end of the postseason, that's not easy, right? That takes time to recover from. And when you saw, especially, they come back at the start of preseason, then he is not in full training. He is not taking part in the friendlies. There's a process there that's not going to be easy to overcome. And for a player of his quality in the back line, it's important that they get him back as soon as they can. You saw what difference he made last season. You saw the way that he changed that defense from the moment that he arrived in PHNX. And you really, if you're PHNX Rising, want to see him be able to do that again this season. You want to see him be able to play that really important role at the heart of defense that he's played. And especially, again, you've got some younger guys in there. You've got some new guys in there at the back. You really, really need, I think, John Stenburg to be able to go, maybe not the first week, but very, very early doors.
Definitely. And I think, with this, you hope it's a linear process, but it's never guaranteed that it is. The fact that, again, he got some minutes under him. Love to see that, right? It is going to be a progression. Keep moving forward. And I think the thing that we're so keen on is, yes, what he brings from the defending ability, but something that we saw when he subbed on, even if there was that brief time period, he did get the captain's armband. And, it's intriguing, right? Again, we know Rising's going to have to find, name a new captain for this season. Darnell King moving to the coaching role, as we know. Kev Lambert no longer with the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of go about that.
Yeah, maybe we got some more to have a listen to from that last game. You mentioned John there. Obviously, when he came on, the armband's handed to him. Is that maybe a sign of things to come?
Maybe a sign of things to come. But John is a leader in the team anyway. And, more than an armband on his sleeve tonight, having his presence back on the field, having his quality back on the field, and just reintroducing him to a competitive game, which he's unfortunately not quite been able to get to before this point. But everything we do with him now, we look forwards on this, and we have a long season ahead of ourselves. So for him individually, it's been a gradual build through the preseason so far, deliberately. He's been very, very keen to get back out onto the field, of course, and 15 minutes for him tonight was a good start. And I think, like I say, the biggest positive to that is that you get a real good presence and a leader in the group back in amongst the team.
How would you describe the leadership role that you're taking on within this team?
For me, nothing has changed since last year. I'm trying to be me. Last year when I came, we had a lot of leaders in the team, and I try to be one of them. So nothing's changed. I just try to encourage everyone and make us play the best soccer as we can.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with what's on field. And listen, we're not going to name any captains. It's coaching staff's not going to name it. But listen, seeing Mike in the chat, seems like he's going to be the captain. It's going to be.
Name it, he should.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it now. John Stenburg should be the captain of this team.
I would agree with you, right? I'm saying we don't name who the captain will be or is. That's not our job. Perhaps maybe a little, dare I say, maybe a little kit reveal on Thursday. That'd be nice. Could happen. I've seen crazier things.
This is speculation. We don't know.
It is speculation. Yeah, that's pure speculation. Definitely not saying that's going to happen.
Some people do look to us for hints like that sometimes. Yeah. Let's just get that one out there right there. That one isn't dropping a hint.
It's pure speculation of like that could be a really cool time of like right now that you
saw Daniel King do the same.
Saw Daniel King do it, right? The fact that he's now has minutes behind him, right? See Bandito's Bluebird, he'll fill the role perfectly, just like Daniel. He's a guy who, again, he has that calming presence on the pitch. No matter who it is, right? Gonna be curious, but especially I think the biggest thing was like just having that health hurdle as he gets into it. Maybe it's not week one to your point, but maybe onward. What will be interesting to see, and really hope it starts week one and onward, is you kind of have to score to win. That's a fact. That's math right there. Math be mathin'. Math be mathin'. And I'm seeing a couple
insight. Analysis.
Insight. You only get it here on the PHNX Rising Podcast. And
you don't win if you don't score.
You can get points if you don't score. That's a fact. We don't want to play that game. We don't want to play that game. We don't want to play that game. But I'm seeing a couple of people in the chat, right? If we go a little bit earlier up, multiple people asking, Goldman Pat, don't want to put too much in preseason here, but what we've seen so far hasn't much put an answer in where these goals are coming from. D. Goalie saying 1 goal in 5 games. I know it's very early. Owen, who's going to be scoring? Tell us now. Tell us the insights.
It should be Remy Cabral, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm not. When you get onto this question of scoring or not scoring or whatever, and we can talk about what we saw in Vegas, right? Often the tendency can be, well, is a striker doing enough? Are they moving around enough? Are they getting in the right places? Are they taking their chances? I don't think the blame for that is on Remy Cabral. I think that what we witnessed was a broad struggle in chance creation. Yeah. And partly, again, read only so much into it, right? A, it's preseason. They could just be sluggish. B, obviously there's some element of split squad at play in that one. I think that when you look at it, right, Emil Quajo, great player in the playoffs, did some really good work there. He's not Panos Amanakis. That's just a fact. They are very different players. They serve very different roles on this team and should be utilized, obviously, in very different ways. Dariusz Formella, someone who we've seen him be dangerous, particularly when he had those certain moments in the number 9 role. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's had some moments as well when he wasn't necessarily playing quite in that role. But whether it worked against Vegas or not, I'd lean towards saying what we saw from Dariusz Formella against Vegas didn't work. I think there's still room to work with the midfield, right? And look, it's not a critique of Jose Andres Hernandez and Renzo Zambrano to say that ultimately they're not Carlos Harvey. they have roles that they can play in that midfield. But Carlos Harvey, when he was out there, you saw those moments where he would be able to kickstart things. He would find ways to completely just kickstart some attack out of the midfield. He'd spray a ball out to someone, or he'd make a run himself, and he'd get something going. And that would happen a couple of times a game, right? And that's important. Yeah. Being able to do that from the midfield, not least because at the very least, it's making your opponent aware of the fact you can do it. And I'm not quite sure that either of them are able to do it in the way that Carlos Harvey was able to.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think the team was fine. Rocco obviously was perfectly fine as well. I mean, the question really, we brought up I brought up the split squad stuff there. Is this week, as they go into a new friendly, how is that going to look? Are you going to see maybe Panos starting in the later game, and you're looking to piece together a squad that looks a lot closer to what you're going to do in the actual opening game? Because I'd imagine that for most people, they'd have Panos starting in that game. Or do you look more towards continuing to maybe work on some of the rotation, continuing to... I mean, I don't know, right? There's a lot that goes into this. Preseason's an awkward time. Again, there's only so much that you can read into certain elements of this, but it's still important.
No, I get you. I mean, right, I think kind of I'm going reverse chronological order of like, right, talking about like where you're going with Remy, right? You want to have a forward.
He's a goal scorer.
Right,
we know that.
Right. Guy's a goal scorer. You want to be having your forward bagging those in. I think the key thing is, and what we saw last year is like, listen, you have your Arteagas, your Trejos. Guess Trejo was a bit more consistent. You had Arteaga, who was in that out number 9 role. He wasn't completely on an island, but he was your furthest forward, and he was streaky. And granted, while that is down to the player a bit, it also was the product of the system in what they were playing in that you needed good service. And we saw that as Panos, came on, after the midway point of, maybe it wasn't night and day, but it was definitely a bit more fluid, definitely able to push the ball forward and kind of get into those different pockets. It's going to be interesting how everything progresses forward. You're seeing, right, Emi Cuejo was playing during that preseason, couple different positions, right, was out wide as well as was able to play through the midfield, which we saw him do a bit towards the last season in through the postseason. Even signing Darius Formella, I think this is something where I'm not necessarily worried about this now in present day, February 27th, but to me, Darius Formella, he can play numerous positions, and I think he has so much position versatility that while that could be a very good thing, I'm very curious where he's going to nail down that spot and what that looks like for him, because you can say you're a versatile player, and that could be a very good thing, but if you're not in the conducive space, where the system's at, that could be an undoing. That's the one thing that I'm not concerned about. I'm just saying it's something to watch for, is where is he going to go if he's going to exploit that half space, that freedom? What is it going to look like? Because you don't want to go stagnant.
Right, but let's also remember this one. As you look at Phoenix Rising and the players that departed and the players that came in, and that's a really important bit here. Departing in the attack, you have Danny Trejo, you have Manuel Arteaga. Who have you had come in besides Remy Cabral?
Exactly.
Right? There isn't the... I mean, Darius Formella, is he the backup 9? You'd presume, looking at this, that you'd say, well, he's going to have to be at the moment.
In that type
he has to be. Who else is?
In that type of scenario, yes.
If you need to take Remy Cabral off, or he can't play in any given game, who's starting up top?
That is the most natural thing.
He's the only guy who can do it, really. But then again, I wonder, as you look at some of the other positions, do you maybe need someone else there? I mean, look, midfield, there are, of course, a few new players that, again, we've only seen a limited amount. Is someone like JP Skiers maybe going to step up? Are we going to see Giulio Dortiotto maybe step up and play a role in some of that, making up for what we've seen depart in Carlos Harvey? Maybe. It's quite early. We don't really know. But I think when you look up top, though, again, still, it comes down to, okay, so how would you even put this out at the moment as a depth chart, right? So again, I guess your 9 would be Remy Cabral and Darius Formella as the backup, but then you're also thinking about Darius Formella maybe as however you want to describe the roles that are not quite up there, and you can call them a 10. You can say they're a little bit further wide. You could say maybe they're playing more as a second striker. We see those different tweaks, but kind of the two people that are right there between your main midfield and your attacking, the very front line. And it's like, who have you got? You got Panos. Formella can do it. Mm-hmm. Emi Quajo. I mean, Fede Varela, maybe? Well, he would be. He, of course, didn't have his best of seasons last season. Will he bounce back?
Yeah.
That's a reasonable question to ask. Erickson Gallardo. I mean, do you prefer to use him out wide? Do you prefer for him to be one of those players just behind the front line? I mean, again, someone we've seen do jobs in moments over the course of the season, but dare I hazard like Emi Quajo, someone who's had those big moments, especially off the bench.
Yep.
But are they immediately suited to a 90-minute game in the way that this team goes out there? Or can they be more impactful as a super sub? I mean, there's the questions there. I don't know. I don't know quite what we'll see come the start of the season. Obviously, I mean, I'm led to believe there is some minor, and I stress this minor, right? It's preseason. You've got to put it in context, but doesn't feel as though I'd say that that this is being ignored on the Phoenix Rising side, right? They're aware of the concern, and to an extent, it is shared. I'm intrigued to see how that comes together now. I'm intrigued to see what they can put together in this final preseason game or preseason double header of sorts. What happens in terms of maybe, players, maybe someone else comes in, maybe they don't. Not being told anything to suggest at the moment that an additional player is coming in, but again, maybe.
Yeah.
You can never rule these things out. Players become available if they fit in there somehow. I mean, we'll have to see. But as some of the chat are saying here, I mean, Bandido's a bit of a prefer Quajo as a super sub. Broadly speaking, agree. Brett George saying that Gallardo's best role seems to be coming off in the second half after opposition is tired and just blowing past people. I broadly agree. Michael Hobson is saying that Quajo and Erickson both super subs. Yep. Again, I think we're all on the same page here in terms of what we're seeing, what we've seen from these players. We know these are good players, but you've got to utilize them in the right ways, and we'll have to see quite how that all comes together.
And I think, again, like it's easy for us to want to know how things are going to be nailed down now, right? And oh my gosh, let's put out a starting 11 and we want to see and we want more answers. And there's so many guys back, but there's still turnover. And what do we do? And it's patience in the sense of, right, it is a lot of the similar coaching staff for people who were familiar last year, but there is a new guy at the helm. There are new players that are being worked in the mix. There are guys who are coming back from, an injury or whatnot. Like there's a lot of things that are being worked through. You just have to take it time. And again, I'm not trying to already built in a pre-excuse for this team, but this team kind of started a bit slow out the gates. And that's kind of an understatement last season. So just give it some time, let it work on it. Again, like when you really think about it, there are only a few preseason games in. Yes, they only have one more official one open to the public from now, but like just give it time. There's practices. There's a lot of things we're not seeing. So just I stress patience. I hope we learned our lesson last year, and I appreciate it. But we're all human, and that's going to go out the window.
Everything I'll stress, though, actually. And I mean, Harry's mentioning, obviously, MLS loan season still coming and all of that. Yeah, I understand it, right? But bear in mind, I think we saw Colorado Rapids, sorry to our DMVR friends, pretty miserable start to their season.
Rough.
If Remy Cabral is scoring at the same kind of rate that he was scoring in MLS Next Pro, at what point do they turn around and say we want him back?
Of course.
And that's something that you have to be aware of and prepared for. Because again, if he comes here, same as we've seen all the time, right? If you can be a victim of your own success by just doing too well at this kind of level, and obviously you're gonna leave, and you'd expect it.
Well, if they do, I have a candidate. I don't know if he's available or what that looks like, but a guy who can really pack a punch.
Is it Mr. Golden Boot winner himself?
Oh, no. What?
Third
No.
tier of a Sunday league.
Wow, that was a shot. No, I was going to say,
Okay.
guys really packs a punch, Jackson Conway. Anyway, Phoenix,
I don't know who I'd prefer.
our
at this
friends at
point.
PHNX, right? We are doing big things out here. Folks, it is a merch sale. We got a merch sale going on, 30% off everything through tomorrow. Again, 30% off. That's a 3. That's a 0. 30. Big 30.
Numbers.
30%.
We're getting there. Numbers.
30% off everything through tomorrow. Check it out at phnxlocker.com. And by the way, we are both wearing, right, these, we're matching a bit today, doing the PHNX Rising, the flagship of what the PHNX Rising podcast
I didn't
is.
realize you were going to be wearing this.
I didn't know you were going to be wearing that.
I'd have worn something different.
That's
probably.
understandable. Well, here we are. We're kind of doing our thing, but boom, merch sale. Get that today. And guys, the Rise to the Top tee, if you have not yet gotten your Rise to the Top Champions tee, it is on sale in the locker. It is $13. $13 in the locker. Can confirm.
Wait, it's really?
Yeah, it's actually $13.
Wow.
It is on
Okay.
sale. It is on sale dramatically. $13, Rise to the Top, black tee. Get it today. It is absolutely
And while you're there
fantastic.
stuck up on the rest
And
of
while
the
they're stuck up on the
30%
rest of the stuff, but get your merch. Get your merch. Anyway, phnxlocker.com. Go get it. What you also can get is with our friends at Arizona Lottery. Arizona Lottery got their AZ Adventure Scratchers. You guys want to win? You guys want to win some money? Well, I can't guarantee that you will, but I'll give you a chance to in the best you can. First off, a couple ways to play, right? Play their Arizona Adventure Lottery tickets. 3 iconic landscapes, Picacho Peak, Monument Valley, Camelback Mountain can win up to $50,000 per ticket just by scratching. Second, you can geolocate going to 10 different adventures, anywhere from Flagstaff to Yuma. A couple of our Coyotes crew did it the other day at Hole in the Rock in Picacho Peak. Super fun to do. Just to go to azadventure.com to check in and win some money. And then third, tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. All super easy to do. Just go to azadventure.com for more information how you can win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. Boom. Get it today. You can get those Arizona Lottery tickets at our friends at Circle K. Circle K, join the Inner Circle program for free. Downloading the Circle K app today. I got my coffee yesterday. Fun fact, I grew up in Tucson. For those of you who don't know, I am from Tucson, and
You're from Tucson.
I am. And my mom every single day got a Circle K coffee. Emma's nodding behind the Mac. That's literally how I grew up. That thing, she went there every day.
Every single day,
Yeah.
and then right before soccer practice, we would stop at Circle
Hell
K
yeah.
and get fill up our waters, and then get a Gatorade.
You're darn right. Yeah, you can get your insert sports drink here. No free ads. You can get your sports drinks here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll let it slide. You're a bit rusty. You haven't been back in a while.
If they sell it at Circle K, it's
Well, no, but we don't.
reaching
But there's
the-
no. But there's Polar Pops. Polar Pops
Polar
for.
Pops, yeah.
It was from a other brand.
Yeah,
but it was
from
in
another
a
brand.
Polar.
Yeah,
It was in
exactly.
a Polar Pop.
It was
cup.
another brand in a
from
Polar
the fountain
Pop.
drink.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
they do carry
those things
sports drinks
at Circle K.
There we
Yes.
in the fountain.
Yes, I was feeling a bit dehydrated, and I got an electrolyte beverage yesterday as well. So yes, get all those things at Circle K. Save 20
See,
cents off
Max
per
at this
gallon.
point is so committed to the bit of no free ads that he's just like,
Dude, I love it so much because you used to let it fly, and now it's so much
Yeah.
better if you just do no free ads. No free ads.
Yeah. Well, then people call me out when I start naming the ads. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're now doing the no free ads thing on me, and that's crazy.
Well, yeah, you have to stick to the bit. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yes, save 25 cents off per gallon your first 5 fill-ups. Lots of stuff free. 6 hot item free. Pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks. That 6 item is free. Inner Circle program, super easy to do. All you need is a phone number. All right, we got a lot of more stuff today. Again, kind of teased again. This is not information. We're not saying a captain's going to be named on Thursday, but if they
Max,
were,
why are you hinting at
I'm
something
saying
that's
they're
not
not.
being
I
hinted
just said they're
at?
not. I just said they're not. But if they were going to be named on Thursday, I'd reckon it might happen at the kit reveal. Kit reveal is going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. at the Marquee Theater. Owen, if I had to put you on the spot and give your best estimate, again, cannot stress enough, zero insider information.
what the kits are going to be
What
like?
are the kits going to be?
See, now you're putting me on the
Yeah,
spot.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I think the
Everyone
home
in the
kit-
chat, add in
The
your
home
thoughts. Add in
kit.
your thoughts.
Hear me out here.
Let's go.
The home kit
Okay.
is going to be red.
Ooh. How do we feel about that? Do we like red? Do we like red on the home kit?
I mean, I don't see this club going El Paso Locomotive and just saying, forget it, we'll go another color for the home kit. Why not? You know, who needs traditional home kit? We'll just do whatever we feel like this year. Or San Diego when they did that in their first season as well.
Could you imagine we just pop out with like a teal jersey for a home kit?
Oh, man.
Why not? Why not?
Bring back the copper. Bring back the copper. I want the copper. I like the copper. I've always been a fan of that.
I wouldn't be mad at the copper if the copper came back.
Give me the copper.
We have a question now in this one. I'll give a shout out to Christian on this one, who we're going to remind him if this comes to fruition. But didn't he say that the club should cancel his season tickets if there's no white kit? So if there's no white kit, I think they should follow through. I mean, Bill Krause, if you're listening, you know whose season tickets are cancelled if there's no white kit on Thursday. Please do it.
Well, yep, that's going to be a thing. But yeah, wait. Oh, actually, did we not have also a little challenge we were going to lay down, a little giveaway?
There it is. Keep an eye on Twitter for this. We may have something quite not at the moment available to the public that we might be able to give away. So keep your eyes out on social media. We will announce the details. PHNX __rising, double the underscores, double the fun. And just keep an eye out. We might well have something to reveal on there with full details on social.
Absolutely. And more information to come on social, including what that'll take to win said thing. But it'll involve finding us and posting a picture and, more stuff to come. But just that's, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Just,
on Thursday.
Yeah.
So
we want the content. We want the engagement. That's what we do. We'll keep seeing some people in the chat.
Emma's pulling weird faces. And
Well, because I want to make a guess, but I don't want to guess it right.
Well,
can I make a guess?
Why would you not want to guess it right?
Wait, so you guys are having people like try and find you and take a picture?
Oh, that's what you're guessing?
Is that what you're doing?
Well, he's literally what he just said. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of a part of it.
Yeah.
But the full details will be on Twitter.
So it's a scavenger hunt and you're having people... Okay, cool.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, of sorts.
See, I didn't...
Well, it's not like it's anything like crazy. Like, it's not, it's...
Scavenger hunts are fun.
Scavenger hunts are fun.
I want to go on a scavenger hunt. Catch me winning.
I'm seeing a couple people in the chat a little bit further up. I saw Brett George, kind of throwing out some uni stuff. Bring back an alternate kit like the yellow one from a few years ago.
You know what I'm going to say? I don't personally think it's going to happen. But of all the years, right, let's be clear. 10 years ago.
10 years later.
As of April, Arizona United played their first game. And Arizona United is a direct continuation with this current club. And they used to play in red, blue, and yellow.
Yes. That's a very good... Yeah, back... I remember entering them in the old Peoria Sports Complex. That's
remember the old...
gosh, that crest
Producer Emma at the moment is looking for things. And for some reason, the Food City kit has not come up immediately.
Food City.
Which is an iconic...
Wait, no reacts, no!
It's an old club jersey. You can't... And it's called that at this point. You can't avoid that one, unfortunately.
What?
It's called the Food City kit. Everyone calls it that.
I mean, it's the... Yeah, there's not much I can say.
So far, Emma's come up with FC Arizona and PSL.
FC Arizona.
And a picture of Omar Bravo.
Give me long tan.
Omar Bravo.
I need long tan.
The current head coach of Arizona Monsoon in Nisa.
I need long tan.
Funnily enough. But there you go.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
there are some
Producer Emma is going through these.
If only you guys could see what we're seeing right now.
Emma's just found the original right now. The original Arizona United.
Right below it is the that one show who shall not be named.
Yeah. But look, I'm just gonna say that I'm intrigued to see what they do with it. I've been told what I've been told so far is, of course, yes, they're Adidas kits, but I think the club have put something together that's quite nice. I'm expecting something nice on the details front.
Yeah, I do like the details.
Without any further description to give on that front.
In the details.
But I'm expecting something quite interesting on the details front. And of course, how could we possibly forget the most important part of any kit? When you've just won the league...
Put a star!
I wasn't going to say that. I was actually going to say that for this coming season, of course, the league patch on the sleeve will be the trophy with the league logo over the top of it. Okay, that's what USL do when you win the league now.
That's true.
So the sleeve patch for the league will be the trophy.
Sick.
That's one season only. That's going to be there until they win it again.
We like that. Let's see what else the chat's saying. A couple things. Scroll up a little bit. Emma, por favor. A little bit.
Wow,
there's a lot of stuff going on. I've seen Rusty Shackleford, White and Copper were the best secondary kit. Absolutely. Ooh, and would be nice if we had a third kit that's black and teal.
Reminder that Bobby on the pod last week
were able to.
said 2 kits.
Yep.
That's for the reveal at the moment, at least.
Gigoli, he said he was there. 2 kits with that one grocer on it. Mama McP in the chat. Good to see you. Bring back this.
Oh, Devin with no Swansea colours in my club. I can get behind that one.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Gosh. Yeah, we'll see. You're guessing red. Okay.
Red in the home kit, yeah.
Red in the home kit.
Emma, do you agree? Red in the home kit?
They have to go red.
What do we like for the goalkeeping, Eunice? Goalkeeper.
Whatever they don't use elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. The goalkeepers don't.
That's like the last. They're always templates anyway.
Yeah.
It's just you pick which color of the templates you want. No one's fair.
Yeah, it's nothing special, unfortunately.
It's just kind
of like those like World Cup 90s goalkeeper kits, you know? Maybe they will. Maybe they're going to shock us. And it's just going to be like Rocco walks out wearing every color highlighter you've ever seen in the most weird jumbled up pattern going.
First of all, you know for a fact that there's no way that they would allow that. No shot. No shot. Corey would freak out over anything.
Corey Robertson, the goalkeeper coach, that is.
Yes, Corey would freak out. No, they just won. They kind of have to go big. What if they don't go red?
Ooh.
That'd be fucking crazy. Or what if they go red and then they don't go white and they go something like actually crazy? So they keep red.
Keep red to be safe.
Red and they don't go for white. Okay, Christian, hope you're holding on to your season ticket closely, mate.
Zanel in the chat, red home, black away. We're going to look like Fire Nation. That's a shot of the Avatar Last Airbender. Boom, right there.
I would say Sir Michael's comment there that if a light blue goalkeeper kit is available, they should stick by it because of the. Yeah. Again, if that's available, if that's one of the templates that's there, I'd stick with it. And it normally is. Light blues are pretty common goalkeeper color.
We need to. What we'll need to do is
Coleman Pat had a large bullseye added to my goalkeeper kit.
Dear gosh. What we'll do next week is we'll need to we're obviously going to do a bigger around the USL and kind of preview and stuff, but part of that we'll include kits, and we'll kind of see where Rising stacks up to some of the kits that have been announced.
Oh yeah, they're doing some good kits.
You like Orange Counties? You like Orange Counties?
I don't have a problem with the shirt if it wants to play like that. They think they modeled it after the winners are from 1914. And it was actually the runners up. So well done, lads. You came out defending. We modeled it after the winners. And B, they put we're doing this for the Open Cup. They put the Open Cup logo, the crest.
It's a horrible media.
Right in the middle of between the manufacturer's logo and the club badge. In such a way that it looks like those patches you get when you win things.
Yeah.
They've never won the Open Cup.
Yeah.
Frauds.
Salaki is right. The Charlie, the brand, or the manufacturer, Charlie. Those kits have been
Some of the Charlie kits have been good.
Really
some of them I'm on the fence about. The key thing about the idea of the experimentation they're able to do is it means it goes very much one way or the other. I think either you look at them and think, wow, this is pretty good, or you look at it and go, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Yeah. That's fair. A lot of kits.
Strangely enough, that would be my view on Pittsburgh's home kit, which is an unpopular opinion, I expect, but I don't like the bridge.
It's fair.
I think it's weird. I think the way they incorporated the bridge is weird, but I really like the Oakland kits.
Yeah, that's fair. So it'll be interesting. Kit reveal. We're all in anticipation. We will see us there. And might be doing something for everyone afterwards. Maybe some die-hard content, a little meetup action for all of our fans. Maybe if you're lucky.
Just follow Max and find out where he's going for a drink after the event, okay?
I'm not going to try
We don't know where. We don't know when.
We don't.
But if you follow Max around at the end of the event, there will be alcohol consumed.
Well, and I'm trying not to say the phrase that everyone likes to say.
I avoided it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to promise it, but if you're a diehard and you like alcoholic beverages, perhaps there might be something
Emma,
afterwards.
what's the phrase? Can you tell us?
Oh, no!
I don't know. I haven't been here.
Cool.
Max is...
No, we don't have to do this.
Max is a really nice gentleman.
Max
and
is buying.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm buying Max's drink.
Oh,
Are
are you going?
Are
on
you going?
Thursday?
It's this Thursday?
Yeah.
We just
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, there we go. Emma's showing up as well.
boom, coming on the pod. And once
Emma's buying beers today.
Hey, love that. Once you say it on the pod, you gotta do it. It's live. Yeah. So let's see. So we got the kit reveal on Thursday, right? There's been some discourse. There's been some discourse on a lot of stuff rising. A lot of fan engagement, quite stuff.
Yeah.
And I know we talked a bit about this with when Bobby was on the pod and all that stuff. And there's just been some stuff kind of in the aftermath of, how can I put it? There's some Spirit Squad stuff kind of going on. I guess for lack of a better term.
People up.
It really did, and like for multiple days too.
It did. It's still going to a degree.
It is.
People are still.
It is.
I wake up and open up Twitter, and there's more stuff on there. Look, here's what I'll say on that front. They were here last season. At the moment, I don't see an expansion on what was done last year. I don't see any reason to necessarily believe that'll be the case of what was done towards the end of last year. I'm not going to pretend it was particularly good last year. Now I'm getting nasty on this one. No, it felt a bit kid's birthday party. I'm going to be real.
A fun birthday party?
Yeah, if you're 5, maybe. And like, I mean, yeah. Overrated. But I understand where the club are coming from to some degree, right? They have to do more. I'm going to continue though with what I've always said here, and Goman Pat actually correct here in talking about season tickets not going up, which is something that Brandon McCarthy said on Twitter. That's also an important factor to this. You can't be the Phoenix Suns, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Coyotes, any of them. You can't just be them but light. You've got to work out what your differentiation is. I think that's an important part, because if you try and be the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, you will lose. You are not the Phoenix Suns. I understand some of what people say, which is that, well, we got to do it because we didn't do well at other places, other locations. Actually, what intrigued me is when you look back at the end of the 2022 season, this team was poor. They were awful on the field. They were playing games at the end of that season against MLS reserve teams that were made up of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And despite having poor on-field performance, not a lot of the entertainment stuff, the crowds were on the up towards the end of that 2022 season at Wild Horse Pass. And the question then I have is why?
Yeah.
It's easy to deflect it onto the people didn't stick around after the initial 38th Street in Washington experience, which I understand.
Sure.
That first night wasn't a great experience, I think. And you have to be patient. I understand that. But the kind of people who come to 3 or 4 games maybe a season aren't patient. They come out for the first time, think, oh, this wasn't great. This was wrong. This was wrong. This was wrong. And that's their impression.
Yeah.
Now, the club are doing work. We know that on trying to find new ways of incorporating new concessions. Prices, by and large, are frozen or decreased in some areas for this season.
Single game ticket prices have dropped or stayed flat.
This is what Bobby said on Twitter. It's also what Bobby said on our podcast last week. The interview we had here in studio. And I know that there are more things I think that they're considering. I mean, we've seen like the expansion of merchandise. They're finding new outlets to sell merchandise in. We know they've got a new distribution, a new shop that's also helping with distribution. We know that they are, of course, finding a insert name here, wholesaler that will be selling tickets as well in the near future.
Nice.
According to the tweets from Bobby. But ultimately, and people stop arguing about the Suns in our chat. What are you doing?
Go to PHNX Suns podcast for that.
Go in there, chat.
Give them the engagement.
Need it here.
We don't want it. We don't need it.
Ultimately, how that translates, I mean, there are so many different factors. I understand the desire to change things that make it a more quote-unquote fun experience. The question I have is, are you moving the needle with some of those things? And again, I know people will go back to things like, well, preference surveys aren't worth anything. People don't know what they want. Like that sounds flippant and silly, but it's genuinely true. People will say they want things, but when it actually comes around to doing it or whatever, they don't. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll have to see.
I think the best way to surmise it, I saw Albert in the chat a little bit earlier up was, I think he had a comment that I think really kind of hit it right on the head right there. Boom. The only entertainment stuff doesn't do anything for me, but I also don't mind the club doing it to attract the casuals.
There's a balance.
It is a balance,
I don't think they're trying to go full, like, people think they're going full lights and they're not.
No. They're trying to figure it out, man. I mean, again, it's I kind of said it. It's not trying to give last year a full-on mulligan. Like, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm suggesting. But like, the reality is, right? Your team has moved multiple times in the last couple of years. Regardless what, the team has been amazing and the team has been poor, missing the playoffs before. Like, it's trying to figure out, okay, do you play into the winning team formula? Do you play into the pre-match experience? Do you then go kind of the completely alternative route and hire these like, fun 5-year-old kids as birthday parties that Owen's talking about and like make it kind of that vibe? Like, it's trying to figure it out. And I'm sure there's somewhere in the middle where it's like you're trying to bring in new people. The people who are fans of Phoenix Rising, the people who love... Let me stop. The people who are fans of Phoenix Rising and who have supported this club and continue to show up at 38th Street in Washington, they're going to, by all accounts, they're going to be there. People who are fans of soccer, you're hoping that they're going to take the lead if they haven't already been to a game and show up. And then it's right, okay, that's the lowest hanging fruit of people who already love this sport. Then how do you get people who haven't been to a match at all, who don't like the sport, but how can you convince them to go to there over other things? It's a lot of dynamics in play.
You know what I'll say, though? We've already kind of dunked on the Rapids earlier today, but I'll actually give something here that I think they're actually doing quite well this season. New initiative they've just started called the My First Match initiative, and it's literally what they're doing. People who are in zip codes neighboring the stadium, they're telling them, sign up, you get 2 free tickets. You're only obviously able to do this once, but they will give you 2 free tickets if you live in the vicinity of the stadium to go out there and go to a game, because they're trying to get people in the door. And look, if they come along, they have a good time, they're going to come back again. I still think that's a really important part of this picture, is that you just need to get people out there for the first time. And if the football is good, or at least passable. The parking is seamless enough. The entrance is fine. The concession lines don't hold you there for 20 minutes. It's reasonable quality and not too expensive. People will come back.
And well,
there's a part of just making sure that you get the basics right that is really, really critical in these things, and not getting just relying on the idea that the kids' birthday party entertainers are going to paper over the cracks.
It's a good point. It's, we pride ourselves on like the beauty, again, like you are able to contain people within an audience where you always know how long the game is, where it's very adaptable for not only whether it's adults, whether it's a date night, whether it's families, whatever it is, it's all mediums. You don't have to worry about a bunch of these other things that perhaps, congested parking, or, is this suitable for a family and all this stuff, or, what does it look like? It's literally all comers. That's why it's the beautiful game. And there's so many different selling points. It's, to your point, if you can get people there, which of course easier said than done, you're hoping that then everything else once you're there retains them, right?
Yeah.
That's the bigger thing. So we'll see how it goes, right? A lot to figure out. And maybe I can't even transition with this because
also he's trying to start brainstorming you, Max.
Well, I think that would help.
Should I get in the zone?
You know how to get into the zone? Friends at OG's Brands. As Emma's looking at what kind of graphic I'm about to pull up. No, our friends at OG's Brands, they can help you get into the zone if you're trying to brainstorm for how to get more people to your stadium, right? Whether you are ticket sales rep or in, whatever department you might be for Phoenix Rising. I'm not saying you should, but I'm not saying you shouldn't take an OG's Brands. It might help you a lot with that creativity, with ease the anxiety perhaps of looking to fill the stadium when it comes to the season ahead, right? OG's Brands, they have all the different great stuff, right? Their 2 newest products, their OG's Naturals and the Big OG's. The OG's Naturals vegan gummies, right? Big OG's, it's a mega version of Peg's RSO. They are in sweet clementine flavor. It's absolutely delicious. Learn more about OG's Brands at ogsbrands.com. See where you can find them. Head over to that website as well as on socials at OG's Brands. And you must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. We love our friends at OGs. Also, grab some Four Peaks, right? Owen, he's already into his
Max,
peach
when are you
golden
getting
ale.
the bad birdie golden ales in? Come on, man. We're waiting on these.
I've been slacking about that.
We want to see these. I want to see these beers. I want to try these beers.
I had yet another Four Peaks Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale at their 8th Street pub on Sunday, and I regrettably did not get some for the office. But it'll happen one of these days. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Really,
I'm waiting, Max. Come on, I want to try it. I want to be able to sell.
Maybe
this product,
next time I was in the office because she's in that area, she could swing by and grab some as well on our behalf. But then we can
I don't
coordinate
think that's
that.
Emma's job.
I'm not saying it's her job, but if I coordinate it, and she's got to.
Max, the amount of errands that you have done for this office to bring free things, I would be happy to help contribute.
Oh, so sweet.
Anything for you. I honestly thought I pulled up the wrong graphic, though.
No, it looks great, just like actually does in real life. Check out Four Peaks, their Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale. Again, check them out at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub. Get it at their 8th Street pub. And follow them on those platforms. Must be 20 years or older to drink Four Peaks. Please enjoy responsibly. All right. We got a couple Rising TV schedule news.
Yeah, that came out. There was
updates.
also USL wide, of course, announcing
course.
the fact they're retaining ESPN for games that aren't being carried by CBS. Let's have a look at the national
Boom.
TV schedule for PHNX Rising. They're
Boom.
starting in terms of the national games. They're on CBS Sports Network twice. That'll be away to Detroit in May.
Bang.
And home against El Paso in July. They're also going to be on ESPN2 twice. That one will be in June against Charleston and in September against Tulsa. And of course, the big one. They will be one of 2 USL Championship regular season games broadcast nationally on CBS. That game on Saturday, the 3rd of August, away to Colorado Springs. Afternoon game.
Oh, yeah.
Owen, am I going to see you in Colorado, buddy?
I will be there.
Max, are you going to join
Dude,
us?
he's trying to get me on the trip. I might
You know what?
make it.
I want to speak to the Rising fans on that one. So please, producer Emma, can we take this graphic off just so that I can speak to the Rising fans? When you look on the way that people talk about PHNX Rising on social media, and by that I mean PHNX Rising fans, PHNX Rising fans will tell you they run this league. This team now is being put on network TV away from home. Prove it. If you're thinking of going to an away game this season, make it Colorado Springs. Turn up, make noise for the lads, go and show everybody what this club is about, and show everybody that PHNX Rising runs USL Championship.
Boom. Mike.
You going, Max? You
Let's
going?
go.
You going?
I'm down, dude.
There we go. It's a commitment now.
Oh, gosh.
There we go. That's actually not the worst.
It's honestly
though.
not. No.
We've gone from
It's good
Max is
slate.
buying beers to Max is getting a tattoo, and now we've just got Max is going to Colorado Springs.
It is.
That's not that bad, to be fair.
It's really good, Max. This is progress.
Well, yeah, when you go
Emma
from
wants to go.
when you go from
I'm going to be living there, dog.
Exactly.
Keep
Which is
going.
like-
You're not living in Colorado Springs.
No, I'll be living in Denver,
but
but I'll
you'll-
make the trek.
Oh,
Here we go. Sam wants to go to Colorado.
Sam literally just came back from Denver and she wants
What
to
do you
go
know?
back.
You're taking a
Boom.
Colorado trip, man.
Yo, let's go. Oh, cool.
Sam, let's make him go.
If the lady's happy, then I'm
There we go.
I've learned that the hard way. You know what I mean, folks? But let's.
We're really going with those jokes on here, man.
Well, it's not a joke. No, I love Sam, but and she's great and amazing, and happy wife, happy life. Even though we're not married, but just trying to get ahead of things. Anyway, can we actually pull up that graphic one more time, because this is actually a nice little synergy here. You kind of notice May, June, July, August, September, one televised match per month.
I'll also
in that
add
5-month stretch.
this one in there, actually, that if you look at, I believe it's in March, actually, as well. There's another game on Big CBS, but that's just locally here in Arizona, so that'll be carried on Arizona's Family. They'll be, instead of the usual, whereby they hide it away on the Arizona Family Sports, or it's on 3TV. This will be on Big CBS.
Yes,
here in the Valley.
The other thing I like about this is this has got a nice little synergy, like full story. PHNX hosting Charleston, and it is, of course, on ESPN2. Granted, the other one was on Big ESPN, but it's a nice little kind of full circle moment from the final last year. We like that. We like that indeed, right?
We did get some comment, actually. Let's have a listen. Not a listen. We'll read it through for you because it's written. But
the doldrums of Owen Evans' voice.
Some comments here from Bobby Dooley, Rising's club president. He said, being selected to play 5 times on national television this season is an honour. It's a testament to the hard work the team put in last season and the quality they displayed in winning a title. It's an endorsement from our national broadcast partners and the league that Rising's operating at a very high level on and off the field. It gives Phoenix an opportunity to show the passion Rising fans have for this team. The statement also continues. I like our producer Emma. It continues. We also appreciate our broadcast partners at Arizona's family who work to get 2 Rising matches on their flagship station, CBS 5, this season. With the national broadcast, multiple games on CBS 5 and the 6 theme night matches simulcast on Free TV and Arizona's Family Sports. Rising is poised to have the highest viewership numbers in franchise history this season. So that's Phoenix Rising Club President Bobby Dooley on the broadcast schedule release.
Bang. Yeah, it's listen, I mean, big club, not just confirmed because we already knew that, but like double confirmed with this schedule. And I mean, to your point, right? Make it that Colorado Springs, make that away trip.
If you're thinking of an away game, now don't get me wrong, unfortunately, because it's an afternoon game, it can be a little bit more of a commitment. It's awkward with timings, but trust me, if you can do it,
it's awesome.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay? Lovely little weekend up in Colorado. In August, get out the heat. Get out of the heat. Go up into the mountains and enjoy
spring in Colorado.
Just think about how much nicer it'll be up there, and think about how much nicer it'll be when Phoenix Rising win that game as well.
I really hope they do, and we can come back and clip this. Otherwise, if not, we'll erase this into oblivion. Yeah.
We'll be sneakily logging into the YouTube to delete this particular show. But
I wish I did that before. So it's going to be interesting seeing how this all plays out. But yes, very intrigued by the full slate of matches. So that's the kind of Rising news from the TV broadcast standpoint. Again. One of the opponents, not on there because not big club.
They only had one game and they were away at Tampa Bay Rowdies.
New Mexico. What do we have to say about our friends, our big brother apparently? New Mexico United. Who? Who's that? Who? Is there an owl in here? Who? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's that club?
What have they ever won?
Well, I don't know. You did.
Oh yeah, worst away day in
That's a title. That's a title.
Now that RGV is gone, it's undisputed at this point. I think worst city to travel to in this league.
You know the best part about going to Albuquerque?
No, there's no bet. Like that works for Sacramento, but Albuquerque's worse. Max.
We have used it before.
It doesn't work, my friend. It doesn't work.
That's fair. If you're obligated to, how about that? Leaving.
I simply prefer not to.
This is fair. Well, yeah, New Mexico going to New Mexico. They're chirping. They're doing their thing. And
old Mexico. Cute. Actual Mexico. Not New Mexico.
You're segueing into... That was a nice segue into, I guess if you're a fan of the U.S. Women's National Team, why? This is tough. That's tough. Oh, gosh. As
a non-American on the pod, I have to say...
2-0 defeat.
Snap. I want to hate you with everything inside of me. Fuck you.
I will say this. It was a very good game that Mexico played out there. Look, I think if the US were playing at their peak, they'd still be too good for Mexico. Mexico played at their peak, and the US just didn't. Right?
Yeah. The U.S. haven't played at their peak for...
No, they haven't, no.
Like, how long has it been, man?
A while.
I mean, the key thing is that the U.S. were able to, in the past, get away with not playing at their peak. And then in those cases, they'd only really lose to the big world powers. Yeah. The difference now is that really those nations outside of the top tier are starting the second tier of nations, are catching up because they're putting the investment, they're putting the money in, and it's changing the game.
True. Yeah, I mean, I hate to see you get CONCACAF'd. We've seen that.
So shout out to Alexia Delgado, ASU alumna.
Well, I mean, listen,
started yesterday.
We've seen this from the men's national team.
Was in very, very high spirits last night after that game.
We've seen the men's national team. They have a big history against CONCACAF for sure. This is not happening to the women's national team. ruh-roh. That's not ideal, and times are changing. That's where we're at.
I mean, we were having this chat before we came on the pod about I think the US, and this applies on both the men's and women's side, needs to really take a deeper look at player development and how they're going about it. I think there's just as you look at the fact that it's so disconnected, right, at every level. A lot of these players, they're going to start playing at like ECNL clubs maybe, right, who don't really care too much about anything other than moving you on to the next step. You end up at a college team. You also got to win while doing it. Colleges, again, I mean, they're mostly in it for just winning games. And that's the thing. At every stage of this, it's about winning games there and then. It's never about okay, how do we turn you into something that's going to be well-rounded enough to be playing in the professional game and play at a very, very high level down the line? You see in a lot of other countries, there's a lot more of a focused kind of plan that goes into how you develop these players. And I think it's no surprise that when you look at, say, even on the men's side, the majority of the top players on the men's side in the US went through development systems elsewhere. They didn't come through here in the US. And I think that's critical. And I think, again, when you look at the women's side, there's still a gulf there because the other nations are catching up. Yeah. Some maybe a lot closer than others, but they're still in the process of catching up. But I think, again, you'll start to see some of those deficiencies come through. Also, it doesn't help, though, to be fair, they were playing certain... I was going to use the word dinosaurs, but maybe that's a bit harsh. But there were certain players out there who, in the nicest possible way, you'd say on the US women's national team yesterday, probably shouldn't have been playing.
I think it's more of...
Best days are gone.
Yes.
You're saying they're washed. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a more appropriate would have been I think that they're like locker room players. In my opinion.
Sure. But you're not a starter.
No.
You saw the speed that Mexico were coming out pressing with. Yeah. The US's backline could not deal with that because...
They couldn't keep up.
They're not quick.
Couldn't keep up.
And that's how the first goal happens.
Yeah. It's tough time. I'll say, not for the women's national team, but, trying to do my part for the men's national team. I would like to add, not only am I a former Golden Boot winner, but I'm also the reigning, defending champion of small goal soccer in the men division, number 2.
No free ads.
What the? Oh, that's a title. That's not a title.
No free ads.
All right, that's fair. But I think we pretty much hit it today. Again, reminder, just a housekeeping note, no show on Thursday because again, we will be at Kit Reveal. Follow us, PHNX _ Rising. We will have more information on kind of like some fun stuff we're doing, kind of contests on what that you could win and how to enter, and then find us and we'll grab some drinks afterwards. But yeah, it'll be a fun time. Again, no Thursday show. Next week, lots to get into. So that will be our next show, Tuesday, 6 p.m. We will not be doing a show, again, not on Thursday, not after
Thursday this week, Thursday next
week. Correct. No
Thursday next week will be followed up by...
tattoo.
Max, sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say it louder, Max?
I will be getting a tattoo.
Max will be Adman the Tattoo, March 7th. 7 p.m. Only available to PHNX diehards. Emma, didn't you design the tattoo?
She did design the tattoo.
I did draw this tattoo, yeah.
I remember you saying to me, why is he getting this tattoo? I just did this for a bit of fun. Why is he putting this on his body?
Yeah, Max, why are you putting this on your body?
I'm a man of my word.
I know, buddy. Sam, if you're still watching, I'm so sorry about this.
I need to talk with her about exactly where.
Where are you gonna get it?
There's a couple options, but let's just say, she said it in jest, joking, but the first one she suggested was, she said on my cheek and not the face kind. But that will not be happening.
Dude, could you imagine Adman Max on your cheeks? Dude,
can you imagine this being live streamed? Max getting a tattoo.
Dude, well, we can make it work where we can zoom up on your...
Wait.
Emma's already thinking about the logistics of how you would broadcast someone getting a tattoo there.
You can zoom in on the cheek enough to where it doesn't show anything. We would just have to shave you off camera. That's the only thing. Sorry,
it's not going on the cheeks. Emma, any four of them. It ain't happening.
That's so upsetting. I would love for it to go to the Chiefs.
No, Sam, we talked about that. So Sam,
Emery's
no. So hold on. So Sam commented. She says on the bottom of the foot, so you never have to see it, and that's totally fair, babe. The issue is these weirdos want to see my feet too.
No,
I can't show my feet. They want to see my feet. I can't do it on my feet. That's what they want. That's
Sam,
what they want.
I think you should advocate for the feet right now.
No,
Just
if it's not on the cheek and if it's on the foot, they have. I feel like you kind of have to pay for feet pics.
It's only for diehards. That's the thing.
They're already paying. Yeah,
I know.
Diehards are already paying.
and I haven't launched my OnlyMax account.
But we don't even put
Max account.
we don't even put feet for the diehards. The
That's what
diehards
I'm
don't even
saying.
get
We don't
feet.
put feet for
True.
anyone. No feet, no cheeks. We're gonna figure it out. But again, it's next Thursday, March 7th. That'll be that. Again, no shows this Thursday or after the friendly. The next show will be Tuesday, the 5th, and then followed by Thursday, the 7th. It's gonna be a full week. USL preview, Rising preview, all this stuff. We got a lot going on, but again, can reveal for Thursday. That's the next one. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX _.
Rusty Shackleton with I want to see them
on
toe.
the PHNX __ Rising Podcast, because double the underscore.
Double the feet.
Double the feet, apparently.
There are two of them, and no one will be seeing either.
No, golly man, Pat, we're not going to be like that particular outlet and add extra fees. We're going to be like Major League Soccer with it behind a double paywall.
Oh gosh,
No, we're not going to do that.
Only the single paywall. Again, if you diehards only, cannot stress that enough. PHNXlocker.com. Get your diehard membership today. Again, 20% off all events, 20% off all merch. You get a free.
Does it get them a discount on OnlyMax as well?
No, that's not a thing yet. Or ever. You get a free shirt as well. You get a free Rising shirt. And you can use that 20% off on the already discounted $13 shirt, Rise the Champions. I'm no mathematician, but that makes it like a $10, $9 shirt, $10 shirt? That's pretty good. Again,
$9 and some change.
Boom. PHXlogger.com. If me getting a tattoo is not reason enough, all those other reasons, again, become a diehard today, hop in the Discord, all kinds of fun stuff.
He's going to do it.
Yes.
He is doing it.
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJ Evans 18. You can follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. You can follow Emma on Twitter on Emma and Clark. And yeah, it is a beautiful game. I got this one, but it's way more beautiful when we're not New Mexico United. Good night.
We all silly like the mayor.